Breaking now at 11, the Washington coastline is on alert for tsunami waves tonight after a massive 8.8 quake off the coast of Russia. Japan and Hawaii are both under tsunami warnings. Residents on both islands are under evacuation alerts. We're looking live tonight at Hawaii, where clearly it is very dark there this afternoon. Can't see much there. It is about 8 o'clock there in Hawaii. Right now, this is new video showing the interstate in Honolulu near Waikiki backed up for miles as residents and visitors headed to higher ground earlier. Thanks for being with us here at 11. I'm Preston Phillips. We have team coverage for you tonight. KOMO's Jackie Kent is standing by on the University of Washington campus with a look inside their seismology lab. But first, we go to Chief Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell with more on this earthquake and the potential for a tsunami here on our coastline. Shannon?
Yeah, you know, we have been through this before, Preston. We have a history of tsunamis here. We live in tsunami territory. That's why when you go out to the Washington coastline, you see all of those signs on either side of the road for the tsunami evacuation routes. Look at Claylock Lodge. It looks just as dark as that shot you showed from the Hawaiian Islands. Of course, it's been dark now for several hours. We have seen calm conditions along our ocean beaches. We do have the links to the webcams up along the Washington coastline in the Strait of Juan de Fuca, by the way, at our KOMOnews.com website. But so far, again, it's pretty dark out there for seeing anything. We do have the potential for a minor tsunami here along the shoreline of not just the coastline, but also through the Strait, the San Juans, back into Whatcom and Skagit counties as well. But we are under a less serious tsunami advisory. That means that the currents are going to be strong. You should stay well away from the water, but major evacuations are not in place right now. That could always change, but not expected to. We are right on the cusp of the waves, the first waves arriving to our Washington coastline, propagating all the way across the Pacific from that big earthquake earlier this afternoon around the Russian coastline, starting in BC, and then these ripple all the way down the Washington coastline, arriving around La Push at about 11:35, and so on all the way back down toward Long Beach at 11:45. From there, the wave will continue to move right through the Strait of Juan de Fuca and into the interior of Whidbey and Camano Islands. Projected times there at midnight and thereafter until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Good thing we've got the lower tide right now. The tide has come down, and so that helps keep the potential for a tsunami and the big impacts at bay. However, the Hawaiian Islands under a much more serious tsunami warning. Some of the buoys out in the Pacific have indicated some movement, so there are some evacuations underway there. Best to keep in touch and listen and tune in to your local authorities and see what to do here in Western Washington right now under a less serious tsunami advisory for the foreseeable future. Preston will keep you updated along the way.
Okay, thanks, Shannon. We continue our team coverage tonight with Jackie Kent. She went inside the UW seismology lab tonight where they're tracking the tsunami risk. She's live there on the UW campus tonight. Jackie, what are they telling you?
Yeah, I spoke with a UW professor who is also the director of the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. He tells me if this tsunami were to hit the Pacific coast, it would happen as early as the next half hour up until maybe 2 in the morning. A tsunami advisory has been issued for the Washington coastline after a massive earthquake in Russia.
We work on this kind of earthquake tsunami research all the time here at UW.
That means University of Washington Professor Harold Tobin is monitoring the earthquake and tsunami impacts with the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network and what those impacts could mean for Washington state.
I would worry more about the open Pacific coast, so out there between, Neah Bay and Grays Harbor and down all the way down to the Columbia River mouth. That's where the impact is likely to be the greatest if there is an impact, and we don't know yet.
What was originally a tsunami watch upgraded to a tsunami advisory. Professor Tobin says that means people should move off beaches or very low-lying areas at the water's edge and be aware that dangerous tsunami waves could come in.
Coming into the sound, the tsunami could get smaller. However, that doesn't mean there's no chance of, especially in harbors and marinas, some damaging impact from surges of water.
Also in Seattle, research oceanographer Vasily Titov with the Pacific Marine Environmental Lab anticipates some flooding as he tracks real-time tsunami forecasts, first for Hawaii, then the West Coast, to send alerts if needed. He notes that any evacuation decisions would be determined by local officials.
We want to know exactly how large this event is going to be at the other coastlines and then warn the people at these coastlines.
And Tobin says people should not be what he calls tsunami tourists, meaning don't try to go to the beaches to try to see these tsunami waves when they come in. Also, the National Weather Service here in Seattle emphasizes there are no anticipated impacts in the inland waters, including Puget Sound, clarifying that this is only for the Pacific coastline. For now, live at UW, Jackie Kent, KOMO News.
All right, thanks, Jackie. Officials in our state use new technology known as dart buoys to determine the threat of a tsunami to our state. KOMO meteorologist George Waldenberger recently did a story on dart buoys. To see it, just scan the QR code there on your screen. It will take you to his story on the KOMO YouTube page. Oregon is also under a tsunami advisory tonight. The Oregon Department of Emergency Management says small waves are expected on the coast starting at around 11:40, so that's about 34 minutes from now, with waves expected to be around 1 to 2 feet high. Officials are urging people to stay away from beaches, harbors, and marinas. Out live now to the Oregon coastline, Christina Giardinelli from our Portland sister station is live tonight in Lincoln City, monitoring the situation there. Christina, how are things looking from where you are?
You know, pretty calm, obviously hard to see in the dark, but I can see the coastline here. I've been monitoring where those waves at, and they seem to be staying in the same position. I will tell you, there are a couple groups on the actual beach right now, right near the actual waves. I'm going to move aside so you can see there's a bonfire on the coast, right close to where the waves are. So people not really heeding those warnings that you guys just mentioned. They are staying on the coastline. Earlier, we saw a ranger come here, post these signs just close to the axis of the beach. You can probably see them. One says danger, high surf. The other one there has the tsunami advisory there on that paper. But there are a couple groups out here that are not, heeding that advice, although a lot of the people that were here earlier have cleared out, so that is fortunate. We're also going to be heading to higher ground here in just a few minutes because those first round of waves are expected here in the next half an hour or so.
Christina, thanks so much for that report. We appreciate it. We will be on Tsunami Watch all night long, so stay with KOMO News on the air and online at KOMOnews.com for continuing coverage. Just scan the QR code on your screen to head to our website where you'll find the latest information around the clock.